Hey, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Coach Tiffany Parra, editor-in-chief of Phoenix Fitness Fanatics magazine, elevating your mind, body, and spirit. Today is our Authors Network Spotlight, where we inspire authors out there that, or aspiring authors, that want to share their story, or authors that are out there that might be sitting on a story or just trying to figure out what to do with their books out there as well. So I am going to go ahead and let my contributing writer on in, my partner in crime this morning, I tell you. Hey, Teresa. Good morning. Good
Hey,
morning.
good morning. How are you?
Good. Long time no see. Look, everyone, if you
Right.
guys follow us and you follow the Own It magazine and publishing platform, you may have seen us on the Author's Corner with Dr. Durain earlier, sharing some knowledge and wisdom over there. But today we are over here for our Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Authors Network. I'm going to let my partner in crime here go ahead and introduce herself today. So go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are, where you're from, a little bit about what you do, and tell them a little bit about your work in your literary work.
Okay. I'm Teresa Palmer. I'm a holistic cardiology nurse practitioner, and I connect individuals to their heart. And by doing that, I connect them to their superpower, their personal power, which is their heart. And this is done through not only connecting to their heart and their superpower, but also through the bridging of Eastern traditions, medicine, complementary techniques, and practices, and traditional Western cardiology. So my patients really get the best of everything. They get to pick and choose what really resonates with them and incorporate whatever modality they want to incorporate to empower them. And, empowerment is so important because, especially I think in healthcare, we give our power away. We give it away to an expert, and we're often thought of as the healers. We're not the healers. The patients, the individuals themselves are really the healers. Our journey as healthcare providers and professionals is to guide them along that journey. And that's what I've been doing for over 20 years. I have a book, it's called Heal Your Heart from Within, and it was published by Balboa Press in 2022. And that's what the book does. It guides people on their journey for healing. I give them the knowledge and the tools they need to help themselves because there's always something you could do to help yourself. And I don't think we always realize that. So that's who I am.
Awesome. We really don't realize that, right? We got to take time to realize that we are our own champions, y'all. So seriously, tap in. All right. So Teresa, I know you've also been a part of some anthologies as well. So let's think about just all the different writing that you've done. What unexpected truth did you discover about yourself while writing? Because I know for myself, like the first chapter I ever, had a chance to share in a book was with Dr. Erica Steptoe, and it was The Queen Boss Rise. I didn't even realize I even had a story, and that was really that unexpected truth. It was like, wait, so as we were sharing earlier on the Own It platform, about stories, our stories are so powerful. And I didn't realize that, wow, my story and sharing my truth could really impact people, the individual reader, and they can take some of these nuggets and be empowered to do some things. For me, sharing what I shared with releasing weight, it could help someone to get in that routine of waking up every day at the same time. And I am on such a regimen. It's wake up, I do my gratitude, my prayer and meditation, then I'm doing my stretching, then I'm doing my walking the dog, then I'm doing the gym, and it's just staying in that practice and sharing, that, and having other people to really just again be impacted was that was the unexpected, truth that I discovered about myself was, wow, you have, your story has power and you should share it. So what's your take on that, Teresa? What was that unexpected truth that you discovered when you started writing?
Okay, my unexpected truth may sound a little bit weird to some people, but it's a very real thing. When I started writing, I had always enjoyed writing, and I always did writing where I would come up with ideas and I would either do voice notes or I like to jot on paper rather than even a computer, and I would jot things down. And it would look like a mishmash of everything
Mm-hmm.
because I would just have certain ideas or certain things that kind of popped into my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And what would happen over a period of anywhere from 24 hours to about 72 hours is it would create itself into a story because I would use what my thoughts were, what my ideas were, and then I would start it was like I always say the writing kind of came through me
Mm-hmm.
because I would kind of I don't want to say be told what to say, but I would kind of have the inkling of, okay, you had this idea, so maybe now we have to translate it into this, or take that out. That's not going to work right with this. So I tried using Chat GPT just like everybody else does. And did it give me some ideas? Yes, but I found that I wasn't able to really use it that much because
Mm-hmm.
of the way I write. I kind of write, I guess you would call it through intuition and through instinct,
Mm-hmm.
where I get these ideas. It may change, it may stay the same. Sometimes it comes to me overnight, and I'll actually jot things down as
Yeah.
they come to me, wake up and jot down, and then I get a finished product. So I don't think maybe I'm your typical writer because the writing kind of flows through me
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of just get inspiration as to what to say and how to say it.
Yeah.
And I don't really plan it or actually set out to do it that same way. It's
Yeah.
not to say I don't plan to do the idea or the theme, but it just kind of works through me that this is what it becomes.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's an inspiration that has guided me there.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love how you write it all down. They say the key to really being able to just get started on, writing a chapter or writing your book is to get yourself, a blank pad of paper and just write everything that comes to you, all the ideas and just get it all out. Get it all out of your head. It may not even make sense. Like you said, it may not make sense, it might be gibberish, but when you go back and start reading through that and really start being able to kind of put that together and say, oh yeah, you know what, I don't that doesn't work right for this particular thing that I'm trying to share, so let me put that over there. Not to say that that idea is not going to be another story later on, right? But let's put it over here, and it all comes together. So anyone that does have a idea for a book or a chapter, or you've been asked, I'm always asking people, hey, I got this idea for another book, come on, need 25 authors for this, and just take that and seriously, come on, come and write in an anthology. That right there is going to help you get your foot wet or get your toe wet, in there, and be able to help you to possibly, write your book as well. So, Teresa, what advice would you give other writers who, as they're trying to get their stories out there and they're uncovering, some of these difficult and surprising truths about, themselves while they're writing? What advice would you give them to, just keep pushing through, because sometimes we get stuck in our own head and then we put it down and we don't come back to it, and there's some brilliance sitting in the corner that needs to get out in the world. So what's your advice on that?
And definitely, what I would say to anybody, any inspiring author, writer, is to start putting things down, whether you do it in a journal, whether you do it. I prefer pen and paper. I think it's important to have pen and paper. Computers are great, use them all the time,
Mhm.
but I think to really get that connection between what you're actually thinking and writing, and even getting that heart connection into it, you have to be able to use that pen and that paper and that physical motion, because that's what our body was really meant for. Before there were computers and all, we wrote. And I think that's the most important thing, is write, whether it be a journal, a piece of paper. Um, I've got a couple of papers. I don't know if I'd recommend that. I would keep everything in one place, which I don't always do. But start jotting down your ideas. What are you interested in? What has come to you? Maybe even in a dream or something that you've thought of, and just write it down. And then look at it and say to yourself, what can I do with this? Or what's coming to me? Don't think about it. I think that's kind of the key. We get in our heads, and the brain likes us to be small and comfortable. It doesn't like us to really expand, because it's kind
Mhm.
of like a computer and it wants us to be comfortable.
Right.
So if you're looking at something and your brain is going, your brain is saying, "Oh, Teresa, you can't do that. Why do you think you could write something?" Just put it aside. Okay. Don't use your brain. Just look at what's on that paper, start jotting things down as they
Mhm.
come to you. They don't even have to make sense. And I think that's another key, is it's not going to make sense. This is your draft. These are your ideas. If you
Mhm.
start to get stuck, put it aside,
Yeah.
do something else, and then come back to it, look at it, and say, should I continue? I know there's times I've been stuck with articles and whatnot, even where I put it aside till the next day,
Mhm.
because nothing's really coming to me that's inspiration. It's all in my head, and that's not a good thing. We need that inspiration. We need that soul into what we do. So
Yeah.
I'll put it aside, and then the next day I'll look at it, jot down more things. If you have a deadline, give yourself plenty of time,
Yeah.
because that way things could germinate. If you know something is due on the first of the month, I usually give myself at least a week.
Yeah.
So I start jotting things down. This is what I think I want to write. And kind of sit with yourself and say, how does this feel? Does this feel authentic? Does this feel like something that's going to make an impact? Because we're
Mhm.
called to give a message, and that message is what we write. So you may not know what your message is right away, but give it time and it'll come to you. The important thing is to keep looking at it, even if there's no inspiration. People go months without inspiration, but it's that keeping up with it and kind of germinating those ideas and looking at things around you, and even asking yourself, is there a story in this?
Mm.
That's what I would say to people,
Yes.
is it's
Love that.
important to just keep doing it until something really clicks.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Teresa. Hello, hello, Mr.
Well,
Jeffrey.
well,
Welcome,
well, well, well,
welcome.
well first, I want to apologize. I was talking smack in the comments, like, what my email? That's what we doing? It ain't even Christmas. What up, though, everybody? What's good? Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and all that good stuff.
Well, welcome, welcome. So, look, Jeff, go ahead and introduce yourself real quickly, and we're going to jump into our question that we are talking about today, about unexpected truths that come up when we're writing.
And man, y'all see the title, Jeff L. Edwards. Just Google me. You're gonna love what you find. YouTube channel, Middle Ground JLE Network. You're gonna love it.
Awesome, awesome. All right. So, what unexpected truth did you discover about yourself while writing? So, when you've written quite a few things now,
Um,
what are some of those unexpected truths that you
uh,
discovered? Because we all
she,
discover
she
some
want me to be
unexpected.
all honest and transparent. Yuck. Man, all right. Writing my latest book, The Order of the 12th Intellect, political thriller. I couldn't deny that I have asshole tendencies.
Mm.
Because the villain, I'm like, he got some of your traits. Maybe you are one, Jeff. The way this dude moving his book just ain't right. Because, people tell me, like, nah, man, I ain't know, like, Jeff, you're an asshole. No. But this character, yeah, Lord Radis the third, he's an asshole. And he don't care. So I had to accept and embrace that truth. At times, I can be one.
Okay. Look, that character is you, right? At times, huh?
Yeah, it was vulnerable. Like, oh, did I really? Is he really gonna do that? Oh my goodness, what they gonna think of me when they read? Oh, who cares? Whatever. It's a great
So,
story.
so what advice would you give other writers who are, who may uncover some difficult or surprising, truths while they're writing their stories, their chapters, and their
Man,
books? What's that advice that you can give them? Because some of them might just stop. They might just be like, you know what, you could have been like, oh man, you know what? Ooh, I got some of these traits. I'm not gonna share this. I don't want people to know about this side of me. Like, oh
no,
no.
you gotta embrace all of
What's
you
some
because you gotta
advice?
finish. If you start something, you finish it. Life lesson, anybody. So, right, tell the story. And as an author, anybody thinking about it or done it, embrace all facets of you. Because
Mm,
different stories you might tell through books, you're gonna find I didn't realize I was that, and it's cool. God gave it to you for a reason. It's an audience that need to hear that story that way.
yeah.
So writing this book or something inspirational or something make believe, it caters to an audience that need your stories.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Our
Yeah.
advice always have a moral to the story, but I'm an '80s babe. All the cartoons had that at the end, so most of my books gonna have a moral to the story if they pay attention. But if you choose not to, that's you. But you need to embrace you. Because
Yeah.
I know being creative people, you feel awkward. You don't let people know who you really are, what you really think, what your talents are. But the hell with them. If God gave you 20 talents, it is your job to use all 20 on this planet before you leave.
This is true.
Because you
This
don't
is
want him to say, dude, I gave you 30 talents and you only use five because you care what so and so said. Man, you're gonna be a billionaire if you did those other five, but you care what so and
okay.
so said. I'm trying to get all, man. I gotta help people. So I'm an asshole, I'm cool, I'm helpful. All of it is JLE.
And
I'm
all of it,
embracing it now.
look, and all of it is going to attract a different audience, right?
Absolutely.
So that's really that's the lesson here, is embracing all of the aspects of you, right? Even if it is a little bit of an a-hole in there, there's other a-holes out there that want to hear it in your a-hole words.
And even in life, my last two business classes had to read a book about every company need one. I'm like, we're talking about this in class, but they go getters. So if you was a wrestling fan like me, you might look at Ric Flair. He was one, but people are quoting that dude stuff from when I was a kid in the '80s because it was life lessons, even though it was promos. You want to be the best, and when you are, you want to let everybody know you that person. Get your linens on, your gaiters, your robe. Let them know I have arrived,
That's
and it's
right.
okay. You ain't bragging too much because God bragging on you about what you doing. Let people know God gave him that talent, so why you hide it?
Right. Yeah.
Let them know.
There's a lot of people out there though that have an issue with sharing those things, sharing what they're doing. So Teresa, what's your take on that as well? Because, sometimes people kind of go inward. They don't want to share their brilliance. They don't want to share the things that they're doing. So what's your opinion on that?
Well, for someone like me who has held back on sharing, and if you listen to our last segment on Own It that we did before this, you know that I have a little bit of trouble sharing some personal things. And I think sometimes it comes down to we don't think that something that happened to us or something that we did is really worthwhile sharing.
Mhm.
I think for me, it's like I just don't feel sometimes like either what happened or what I did or whatever is really that important. We kind of make ourselves small.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, it's just part of every now and then when that self-esteem kind of gets a little bit lowered when you say, oh, well, if I share this, it kind of sounds odd, or people aren't going to believe this anyway, or they're going to question it, or maybe they're not interested in it. And I find where I have the most trouble is that I'm a healthcare professional, I'm a nurse practitioner, and I'm on a certain social media where there's a lot of professionals on that social media. And they're a lot of them are scientifically oriented. A lot of them are, in medicine, we go by protocols, and if you can't prove it, it didn't happen type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I find a lot of trouble sharing on that because right away I believe that A, they're not going to be interested, and B, they're not going to believe it, and they're going to say, oh, she's just sharing some nonsense or some woohoo, woo woo or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, which isn't the truth. But it kind of prevents me from sharing on that social media platform, sharing not only what I do but things I've written and all, because I think there's going to be a lot of self-doubt, and you don't want that self-doubt then to creep into you. So I
Right.
think sometimes we hold back because of others, and it shouldn't be that way. And truthfully, I should go on that platform and I should say whatever I want to say because that's my truth.
That's
And it's
right.
things that I've seen and things that I've seen go on, with patients that they may say, oh, well, that can't happen. Scientifically, if this happens, X, Y, and Z is the result of that. Who does she think she is?
Mm.
But I need to go on there and speak my truth. So I think it's all about being authentic and
Yeah.
standing in our truth. And I'm not ashamed to admit that I don't always do that. I don't always do that because I guess I kind of fear what the repercussions are going to be,
Yeah.
but I need to get out of that. So I would tell anybody just stand in your truth, be who you are, be authentic, and people will believe what they want to believe. They'll not believe what they don't want to believe. And truthfully, it doesn't matter because it's your truth. So
That's right.
that's what I have to
Right.
say.
Because you're
That's
awesome.
right. That's
Let them
right.
know.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jeff.
Man, what you waiting on? That's all I can tell you. At this point in your life, what you've been doing, I'm pretty sure you ain't happy with. So why not do the things that's running through your head that you ain't telling nobody about and see where that path take you?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a fun ride. You're going to learn new stuff about you, going to network with new people. And when you get on the other side of it, you're going to like, it wasn't even that scary. And it's not.
Right.
So get off your butt and get the grinding.
Just
Only you
try.
stopping yourself. Which way now?
Just try. Just try. Just get out there and
Be
just try it.
awesome.
Share your truth.
Be
That's
awesome.
right. That's right. So it's always such a pleasure to just, take center stage with the two of you. What are some final words of wisdom, words of encouragement that we can give the audience before we close up this authors network today? So we'll start with you, Teresa, and then we'll close up with you, Jeff.
I would say be who you are, write who you are, write what you experience, and don't worry about the critics. Get rid of the critics. It doesn't matter. Because even as an author, I know we all like to sell books, but you don't have to. You could write something and publish something simply for just wanting to get it out there and not worrying about who reads it, what it's going to be. Is there a niche for this? Um, Not worry about those ends of it that often come with the publishing side of it, but just write because you want to write. You're inspired to write something, you're inspired to blog something, you're inspired to author a book. Just go ahead and do it. And don't worry about what the end result is going to be. Just do it for you. And I think that's the most important thing, that if you're authentic and you do it from your heart and your soul, it's going to inspire other people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you,
Get
Teresa.
serious.
Jeffrey.
Serious face.
Yep.
God didn't make a mistake on you. Any time that you had, you don't let no one know about. It's not a mistake. You're supposed to share it with the world.
Mhm.
I know that idea sounds, oh my God, no. I was that person. My homies didn't know I sing or write songs. Like, nah, man, y'all gonna clown me. But being myself is way better. So embrace being comfortable being yourself. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Cause that journey is gonna make you awesome. Make the impossible possible.
That's right. That's
And
right.
people watching. So when you start being awesome, they ain't gonna tell you, but like, man, I need to step my game up. Cause so and so doing. I ain't know they was trying to do all that, but I got this idea. Y'all collaborate.
That's right.
Be the leader.
Collaboration is key. That
Leaders
is.
lead.
That's right. Leaders lead. Awesome. Awesome. I love it. I love it. Well, it has been a wonderful authors network talking about those unexpected truths that come up when you're trying to, just write and get your message out there in the world. These two have been able to overcome, some of these things that have hit them, and hopefully have encouraged you also to just truly just go ahead and break out of that and get your truth out there. Be authentic, be real, be true to yourself. And if you need some help with getting that out there, tap into Phoenix Fitness Fanatics as well as the Own It magazine and publishing platform. There are so many coaches and consultants here on the platform that can truly help you to birth your book. If you have a business idea, you want to elevate your brand, definitely tap in. So, Teresa, how can they get in touch with you if someone would like to, work with you, or if they would like to just pick up your books?
Okay, right now they can find my book on balboapress.com, amazon.com, booksamillion.com, barnesandnoble.com. The easiest way to get in touch with me right now would either be message me on Facebook, Teresa Palmer, message me on Instagram. I'm under Teresa Palmer. I'm under, I think your heart is your superpower. I've got a couple things there, but you'll be able to find me. Once my website gets done, you'll be able to contact me directly through my website, get an awesome free gift. And that's coming hopefully within the next few weeks. And that's how you could get in touch with me.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, Teresa. What about you, Jeff?
I'm on Instagram, Middle Ground JLE, Facebook, Jeffrey Edwards, LinkedIn, Jeffrey Edwards. But you really want to reach out, my email, middleground with JLELLC@gmail.com.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. All right, everybody. And if you want to tap into Phoenix Fitness Fanatics magazine, you can always email me at phoenixfitnessfanaticsmagazine@gmail.com. If you'd like to be featured, you're in health and wellness, or you're an author that would like to come out here and share yourself on the platform, we would love to share you with the Own It as well as the PFF platform. So thank you so much for joining us today. If you have any questions, comments, any feedback, definitely put that in the comments for us, and we will get back to you. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you all next time. Take care, everybody. Have an amazing day.